Let's say the Nerf gods blessed you with $200, but you have to spend all this money on 2021 dart blasters. What the heck do you buy? I have 3 different loadouts depending on your interests, including some of the best 2021 dart blasters money can buy. When choosing a blaster for a Nerf war, I need to rely on its firepower to keep me safe. And just like in a battle, you're going to have a bunch of things trying to bombard you while browsing the internet. Trackers, shady websites, someone's always trying to steal your data in the digital landscape. That's why I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, NordVPN, and how you can stay safe with barely any effort. And actually, before the sponsorship, I've been using NordVPN for over 2 years, so I can vouch for their service. With one click, boop, you surf the web as you normally do, but now NordVPN is working in the background and fully encrypting all your data. It's literally that simple. It's like equipping a Nerf NordVPN shield that'll block all sorts of projectiles aimed at you by cybercriminals and government entities. Whether it's buying Nerf blasters or other stuff, I like a good deal, and the deal that I can give to you is awesome. So if you check out nordvpn.com/legitbread, you will get a whopping 73% off a 2-year plan, plus an extra 4 months for free. And there's absolutely no risk, because if you don't like it, you get your money back within 30 days. Protect yourself on the digital Nerf battleground with NordVPN. Now back to the Nerf content. Let's get $200 up on the board for our first loadout. I call this the built from scratch loadout. This assumes you own 0 blasters and you just want to dip your toes in almost every facet of the hobby. This one's for you guys. We're coming in hot and not slowing down. We have the Dart Zone Max Stryker, taking away $50 from our budget, but oh man, it is so worth it. If you never played with a high performance blaster like this before, oh man, you are in for a treat. This is a pump action blaster that's compatible with both half-length and full-length darts and magazines, and those half-length darts will allow you to achieve incredible accuracy as well as power. Just as reference, this is going to be more powerful, or 2 times more powerful than your average Nerf dart blaster, with average velocity being around 150 feet per second. So like, you pull the trigger and you'll see the dart fly out there, it's gone. The Max Stryker is excellent for outdoor games, for those high intensity battles with other people using blasters like this. Essentially, the Max Stryker is the target version of the Nexus Pro, high performance, very consistent, and extremely cheap for what you get. Hyper is Nerf's flagship series of this year, so it seems appropriate that we take their best offering and put it in this loadout, just to get a little taste of what Hyper can provide. This is the Rush 40 for $40. Oh, my bad, it's actually $30 instead of $40. This is a top priming pistol blaster with a whopping 40 round capacity, and that's thanks to the new smaller Hyper rounds. Just like rival blasters, we're going to be seeing high average initial velocity, maybe around 100 feet per second or higher. Some of the drawbacks include some inconsistencies with the feeding of the hopper. These rounds are incredibly easy to lose, and they're not that cheap either. And you only get 30 rounds instead of its full capacity of 40. It's like, why Nerf? Why you do this? For $40, you're not getting value in the form of plastic volume, but you have that all curated in a smaller frame with that high capacity and that high performance. We're crossing that $100 mark with the Adventure Force Monolith. For only $35, this is kind of like a mini Nerf Nemesis, but for a fraction of the price. It is a full auto rival compatible blaster that runs on 6D batteries, so that's probably one of the biggest flaws. It's going to get expensive replacing those batteries over time. It comes with a really nice side opening door for that hopper, so it makes it easy to just throw some balls in there. It does have an inconsistent rate of fire, so this is no Nerf rival Percy's here, but still, you're getting some high 90s average FPS stats here. Overall, it's a solid rival blaster to add to the loadout. To let you know, some of these blasters I talk about may or may not be released yet. 2021 isn't over yet by far, so my opinions will most likely change, but hey, this is all for fun. We're going to spend $30 of our budget on the Adventure Force Tomahawk 60, and this thing is wild. It has a 60 round removable drum, and it may be the biggest single drum blaster out there. I could be wrong, but this thing is impressive either way. It's semi-automatic, so you can have that quick rate of fire, and it does that on 6 AA batteries. And weirdly enough, this is also compatible with Nerf stocks. There's a big difference in average initial velocity from a couple of review videos out there. It's anywhere between high 70 feet per second to over 100 feet per second. This thing is a beast. You're going to get a lot of mileage out of that capacity. You're not going to be reloading too often, but when you do, you may get some difficulties where like sometimes you have to bend the darts to get them into place, which may not always work in your favor. And by the time this video gets out, hopefully this blaster will be on store shelves. Oh man, I spent way too much time trying to figure out what to do with the last of our $55, but I decided to give some love to Buzzbee in the form of the Adventure Force Triggerfire. This blaster retails for $20, very great price, and again, another big drum blaster. It has a 30 dart auto rotating barrel, and take a look at this image. It doesn't have a priming handle nor a rev trigger. All you have to do is just pull the trigger on the grip and it just fires a dart. End of story. That's how simple it is. This thing has a lot of fun potential and just adds a little bit of zest to our loadout. We had $25 left in our budget, so with that restraint, I've chosen the Nerf Rival Curve Shots Sideswipe. This is a bolt action priming blaster. You got a 12 round internal magazine, but screw all that. The most important thing is its gimmick. There's a hop up tab right on the front of the barrel, and depending on which direction you turn it in, the rounds that it fires will actually curve in mid-air. Is it practical? That's questionable. Is it fun? Well, heck yeah, it's like Fast and Furious drifting, but in mid-air. It's a terrible analogy, but it is good. It's good. Let's say you don't like that gimmick. Well, we can easily sub out the Sideswipe for the Adventure Force Tetrashot, also for $25, and its interesting gimmick. It has just a bunch of like shells here. It's 48 darts in total capacity, and while firing this blaster, you'll appreciate how it can easily rotate through all the darts and shells without any hassle. We only have $10 left, but fret not, that is still enough to get yourself a blaster for your pet cat and your pet giraffe. This is the Adventure Force Equalizer. Both blasters have auto-rotating 4-dart barrels, so they're like smaller versions of the Disruptor, and hey, you cannot lose for $5 each per blaster. And with that, we've reached exactly $200 in this loadout, but don't leave me yet, keep me company here. We're also going to cover the best 2021 blasters, at least what I think, so far, later on in this video. I call this next one the most ridiculous loadout. Let's say you have $200 to shell out on the most wild, wacky, and impractical blasters you can use on the battlefield or display on a shelf. This one's for you. First up is the Roblox Adopt Me Bees. Like dude, just look at that packaging, look at that name. It's so weird, almost weird enough to just put on the loadout just because of that. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is like the first Nerf blaster to feature a honey design. It has an 8-dart rotating barrel with lever action prime, but also weird ergonomics here. It has an average FPS of around 70, so nothing to cheer about here. Just when you think Nerf can't come up with great ideas, they pair up with Roblox and make a honey Nerf blaster. We have yet again another Nerf Roblox blaster here. This is the This is the Shark Seeker for $25. If I'm not wrong, this is the first ever Nerf Shark blaster, and just look at that priming handle, man. That is literally a shark fin priming handle. Never before seen. It's compatible with Mega Darts, but only has a 3-dart barrel. You may not be the top predator while wielding this blaster, but at least it doesn't take a huge chunk out of your wallet. I'm happy to report that Elite 2.0 finally has fun blasters under its wing. We have the new Flip Shot sub-series, so we're going to add the Flip 16 for $40 to our loadout. Whoa, hold on. So this was filmed before we found out this blaster is kind of bad, so let's pretend we're living in like a different Marvel timeline where this is worth the money. You can see there's some weird stuff going on here. There's like 4-dart capacity barrels. Here you have a front priming grip which flips the barrels. It's super dynamic. It feels like such a 90s gimmick, but I can just eat it up all day. You got that cool bolt action prime. If you pull the trigger halfway, you'll fire 1 dart. If you pull the trigger fully, you'll fire 2 darts at once. I really hope you're enjoying this more fun way of choosing blasters, and feel free to agree or disagree with my choices down below, as well as comment your own 2021 loadouts. These Dragon Power blasters are, in my opinion, some of the coolest designs Nerf has released recently, and has become even cooler because they are in partnership with Dungeons & Dragons. This is a crossover of marrying the brand of Nerf and dragons. It somehow works. So let's add the Dragon Power Ember Strike for $30 to our loadout. It's a pump action blaster with an 8-dart rotating barrel and 8-dart storage in the back stock. This thing could totally live on a shelf and just look super cool. I gotta do it. We're adding another Flip Shots blaster to our list. Oh no, this video is not gonna age well, is it? This is the Flip 32 for $60. Just a lot of crap going on at the front. There's like 4 8-dart capacity barrels, a front priming grip which flips all the barrels around and stuff, lever action priming, come on man, that's so cool. We don't know much about them right now, but the Mega XL blasters look like great ridiculous blasters to add as honorable mentions to this most ridiculous loadout. Now this is most likely the loadout you'll be most interested in. This is the best of 2021 loadout. Essentially, in my opinion, what are some of the best blasters that you can get with $200? This may be controversial, but we're going to spend $30 on the Nerf Hyper Rush 40. Again, we're just including this because it's such a small blaster, but with a huge capacity, and there may be some value with this if Hyper becomes popular in the future. And making its return, it's the Dart Zone Max Stryker for $50. Man, the only thing that can hit harder than this is possibly you when you smash that subscribe button. Wow, that was cringy. You can unsubscribe just because of that. You thought I wasn't going to do it. You thought I wasn't going to include the Adventure Force Conquest Pro, but surprise, it's making it on this list. We're going to spend $40 on it, because why not? Again, just like the Dart Zone Max Stryker, this is a high performance blaster, really crazy average feet per second in like the 150s range. This thing has slam fire too, but we also didn't talk about its main difference in terms of design. This reloads magazines from the back. It's very interesting. It does kind of limit what magazines you can use. However, it does reduce that volume and kind of provides a more sleeker look as well. There's so much going right for this blaster, so it just seems like a disservice to it if we don't include it here. Okay, this blaster is going to take a huge chunk out of our budget, and it's going to be controversial, but here I'm including the Nerf Ultra Select. This is a full auto ultra blaster, but before you groan, it actually has potential. This thing does use 6C batteries, so bleh, I don't like that, but it does have a rare feature. It's neat. You can load 2 magazines at once. There's 2 mag wells in this thing, and just like its name, you can select which magazine you're using while firing. One of the most glorious things about the Ultra Select, it comes with new, more accurate Ultra Darts. Now you compare that high average velocity of 90 feet per second with some actual accuracy now. The Ultra series is far from perfect as we know, but the Ultra Select may be a turning point, at least I hope so, and that's why I included it on this loadout. It's almost like 12 a.m. right now, oh my god. Okay, it looks like we only have like $20 left in our loadout. Not a lot of options here. I mean, you could buy like a legit bread mug or sticker with that price, but joking aside, again, there is the Adventure Force Triggerfire for $20. In general, it may not be the best blaster, but in terms of 2-stage trigger blasters like this thing blows all the competition out of the water. Now our total price is at $200. What's that sound? Oh, yo, 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 yo. Yes! Yes! Yes, yes, yes!
And no bull marketing, you've come to know.
I'm a fan of no bull. You must have taken me for a fool, but I did not forget the Dart Zone Pro Mark III, which is coming out this fall, and this can be like an alternate best of 2021 loadout right here. This is the very first Dart Zone Pro flywheel blaster. As of this recording, sources are telling us that this blaster will be powered by 8 AA batteries, and it will have an average FPS of around 130 to 140 feet per second with half-length darts. And look at this thing, you can flip between full auto and semi-auto. Also, it's compatible and includes half-length and full-length darts and magazines. And look at that, it might actually come with an optical light-up sight. It's an understatement to say that there's a lot of hype for this blaster. It's also an understatement to say that it's expensive. This is going to be the most expensive Dart Zone Pro blaster to date, meaning it's going to cost at least $150. So in a loadout of itself, it could eat up like the entire budget here. And time will tell if this blaster is worth that money. Recently, I reviewed 4 other 2021 blasters that I thought were going to be garbage, but check out the video on the left to see how I was kinda wrong. If you like the vibe of this channel, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, hope you do something great today, and get that bread.